is Dr. Marcino. Today we're going to be looking at SCP-516. SCP-516, Object Class Safe, Special Containment Procedures. SCP-516 may be kept in an anomalous vehicle containment bay. Routine vehicle maintenance should be carried out on a bi-weekly basis. SCP-516 is not to be provided with fuel or ammunition, except under controlled testing circumstances. Following Incident 516-1A, no personnel with a history of military service should be assigned to SCP-516. Description: SCP-516 is a standard model T-55 main battle tank. Records indicate it was manufactured in 19 at plant Kharkiv, Ukraine, SSR, and that it had a normal period of service in the armed forces of. It exhibits wear and tear consistent with its age. The only part of SCP-516 which is known to exhibit anomalous properties is its main armament, precisely a 100mm D-10 tank gun and turret assembled from here, designed as SCP-516-1. However, as SCP-516-1 has been replaced several times throughout SCP-516's service life without any apparent effects, its anomalous properties seem to be inherent to SCP-516. When loaded, the compatible 100mm ammunition, SCP-516-1 exhibits a limited degree of autonomy. When an entity attempts to damage SCP-516, SCP-516-1 will track and fire on it if it's physically possible to neutralize the threat. Regardless of whether SCP-516 is crewed, it will not respond to threats outside its range of transverse, such as aircraft. This phenomenon only occurs if the entity possesses reasonable means to damage SCP-516. For example, SCP-516-1 will not fire on a person attempting to attack SCP-516 with their fists. SCP-516-1 may be operated manually, but is selective about its targets. In general, it will only permit its operator to fire on non-living targets, non-sapient biological targets, or armed humans. Under these circumstances, it will fire as a normal armament piece. If a target does not satisfy these conditions, essentially being an unarmed sapient being, SCP-516-1 will jam. Attempts to prevent jamming through maintenance or parts replacement have failed. SCP-516 appears to go to extra lengths to prevent injury to unarmed humans, deliberately placing shots from SCP-516-1 to avoid collateral damage. When operated manually, SCP-516-1 places a higher priority on preserving unarmed life than eliminating armed targets. It will jam if directed to fire upon a group of persons, of which only some members are armed. It should be noted that none of SCP-516's other armaments exhibit these properties and appear to be perfectly normal. SCP-516 was brought to attention of the Foundation in when it was slated to be broken upon for scrap. Due to a bureaucratic oversight, ammunition had not been removed from SCP-516-1, causing it to open fire within casualties to ensue. Government investigation was noted from Foundation operatives, and it was thought worthwhile to take SCP-516 into custody. Addendum 516-1. An upgrade to Euclid status is being considered in light of Incident 516-1A, as this lends credence to Dr. Theory that the SCP may be sentient in some form. Additional security measures have been approved for SCP-516's containment. Incident 516-1A Sympnosis. During routine testing of SCP-516, SCP-516-1 immediately fired upon a group of unarmed personnel in range. As soon as it was loaded with ammunition, leading to the death of 2 D-Class personnel, D-505 and D-596, and 1 Foundation officer agent. Subsequent investigation showed that D-596, one of the casualties, had attained his D-Class status following a criminal conviction for treason against his native country. D-56 previously held the English equivalent rank of sergeant in the armed forces from which SCP-516 was acquired. No other possible links to SCP-516 with D-596 or other casualties have been found at this stage. These marks the first time SCP-516 has attacked unarmed personnel. Further investigation and safety precautions are warranted.